Hey guys, welcome to MPAI Labs. I hope everybody's doing great. Today is July 4th. So by the time this video comes out, it's going to be next week. So happy belated 4th. Hope everybody had a great time. Stay hydrated and let's learn. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit different. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do a throwback of reviewing what, ChatGPT or CT is going to be. I'm going to share my screen and then you're just going to see my face for most of the lessons. Okay. So over here, I thought I would share that you can actually, it's for free, go to OpenAI Academies. On here, they have different courses and it breaks everything down. You can create a profile, and I took some of the courses, but I just wanted to share with you. So this right here, the first one, is called AI Foundation. So it's basic AI. It teaches you what an LLM is. Same thing I've been barking on you forever. So I'm going to review some of the stuff. Over here, this is, even it says here, great for people who have some experience. No experience, some experience, and then comfortable using AI. Okay. So you can go with AI Foundation. It's only been like 30 minutes. Take this one. And then you can go to the Applied AI Foundations. It gives you, tips and tricks of how to, speak to CT or ChatGPT. And then it gives you this one, agent and flows. But if you can click on here for more courses, or you can come down here and you can check out, the upcoming events. If you want to learn how to code for everyday use, definitely, here it tells you the time. This is going to happen on July 7th. Which is amazing. And then you just, peruse on here. And once again, you look at past events and, you click on there, there's slides, there's interaction. So this right here is going to give you the latest on how to use it and then how to apply what you learn. Okay. So I just wanted you to, share this with you. Once again, you can just Google OpenAI Academy. If you don't have, a ChatGPT account, you can just create it, log in with your email, and just go over this. It's explained in simple terms. Okay. So now you can see my face. All right. One of the things that I always tell people is that if you learn the basics and you trust what you learn and you apply on it, it's going to help out. Okay. So today's lesson, is for everyone of learning basic, 101, how to use ChatGPT, or I'm just going to call it CT because that's just too long. CT or GPT, helping you even if you have to use it for work. Okay. If your workplace allow it. Okay. So CT can save you lots of time, organize your ideas, draft messages, summarize information, and create a checklist. Okay. Remember, it is a tool that you want to use. Okay. Once again, it's a tool. Okay. It's not to replace your judgment or your brain. Just remember that. So just think of CT or GPT as a helpful assistant. Okay. Once again, it's a tool. You want to sometimes do a first draft or second draft, or you want to answer the questions correctly, and you want to do it safe, and you want to have good mannerism. Okay. Once again, CT is a great tool. It cannot replace your brain. Don't rely on AI to just do everything. You still need to use your brain. If not, you're just going to waste away. In my opinion, I love reading. Okay, I love doing puzzle. You have to always challenge your brain. Okay, Now let's get back to the simple message. So the main workflow. So once you log on, or before you start using, CT, here's some questions that you want to ask yourself. What and why do I need it to help? What and why? Is it for your email? Is it for your reports? Is it for a checklist? Is it for meetings? Is it for a project or for a lesson? Because you can actually learn on that. Who will read it? If you're doing drafting a email, remember you are the one that actually do the actual wording. You can stick, copy and paste your email into CT and ask him or her to polish it. Okay. So you need to know, is it going to your coworker? Is it going to your manager? Is it going to go to your project team? You need to know who's going to actually read, this particular document. And what should the final answer look like? You have to have some type of idea, okay? You can't just, give it, a blind question and tell them to run with it, because it will hallucinate, okay? It has happened to me so many times. All right, here's an easy example. Instead of saying, help me with this project, because a lot of people do that, you want to say, help me create a simple project checklist, for our team members, for our manager. Okay, and the tone should be professional, short, and easy to follow. Remember, you want to give, CT, direction. Okay, and if you don't know what, different tones, okay, you should check my other, what do you call it, video. But I always say polite, professional tone, okay? You don't want it to sound like it's coming across very stern and mean. My opinion, once again. So, once again, let's recap. Instead of saying, help me with this, or do this project, or give me an idea, you say, help me create a simple, etc., for so and so. The tone should be professional, short and easy to follow. So you're giving him or her a direction, okay? So the next step you want to do is check the task. Is it going to, fit what is needed? So you're going to ask yourself, is this a good task for, CT? Can CT help draft, organize, rewrite, repolish, summarize, or brainstorm? Most likely the answer is yes. Okay. And also, is this something that still needs a manager or an expert or an approval process? Because you have to be very careful of information that you put in CT, and we'll talk about that later. Okay. So here's some good tasks that CT can, is useful for. Drafting a first version of an email, create a checklist. You can summarize approved information. It can organize your notes very well. It definitely can brainstorm ideas. Okay. It can rewrite text or polish it to a different audience. And it can prepare questions for a meeting. It is excellent regarding that. Now you got to be a little bit more careful on the task, because remember, you still want to use your brain. Okay, you always want to have safety. Never discuss anything from work. Okay, be careful with that. Legal rights, Medicare. Okay, a lot of people use it. Remember, it's a tool. They're not your doctor. Okay. Financial decision, you can't just ask an AI regarding that. Okay. Company policy, once again, you got to be careful with that. Customer or private information, you definitely don't want to put your social and a lot of your bank statements, even though, let's clarify, they do have a new thing for financial. I would not put that information in. Okay. You can probably give it some type of examples to help, And then final approval. Remember, final approval cannot be with AI. It has to be with your manager or an expert or, whoever, you go to. Um, so please, 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 once again, be very careful. You want safety, employment decision, legal rights. It's not your doctor. So, um, financial decision, be careful with that. It's not your significant other. Be careful with that, with privacy. Please be careful with company privacy. Um, Also with customers and private information, and then final approval. Okay. So everybody loves to share. So the next step is going to be very important because information sharing has gone berserk. Okay. Before putting information in any AI, okay, you're going to ask yourself these questions. First is this information needed? Like, why would you give, an AI your social? Okay, just be careful with that. Just FYI. Can I remove the name or private details? Can I use labels such as customer A or B? You probably want, keep practicing that. Am I allowed to share, this here? Is there an approved company source or process that I should use instead? So these questions you want to ask yourself because just FYI, everything that you put in here, it goes elsewhere. It's not actually kept. And if you think it's deleted, it's not. So be careful of how you share your information with any AI. My opinion, and it has happened. There's stories out there, but besides that, here's a simple rule: only share what is needed. I'm going to repeat that again. Only share what is needed. Do not include private customer details, employee information, confidential companies, steps. Don't do that. Any account numbers, passcode, social, sensitive documents, unless your organization or company clearly allow that. Okay. Just don't overshare and just be careful. Okay. Next thing, you want to use the clear review. Clear. That's CLEAR. Okay. C stands for complete. L is logical. E is for evidence. A is for audience. R is for relevant. Okay. Clear. Excuse me. So let's talk about clear. C is complete. Did CT answer everything you asked for? You have to, ask yourself that. Okay. So ask yourself, did it include all requirement parts? Did it allow the format you requested? Is there anything else missing? So here's an example. If you ask for an email with a deadline, but the deadline is missing, it's not a complete task. Remember that. Okay? So once again, did it include all the requirements that you asked for? Did it follow the format that you requested? And was there something missing? Okay, so that's the first part, which is clear. Which C as in complete. Sorry about that. The next one, L, logical. Does the answer make sense from start to finish? So you're going to ask these three questions. Is the order clear? Does the message follow well? Sometimes it doesn't. Or would another person understand it? For example, a project email should explain the reason, request, deadline, excuse me, and next step in the clear order. Once again, let's repeat that because I sneeze. Sorry about that. A project email should explain the reason, the request, the deadline, and next step to clear order. Okay, so the first is C, complete. It has to have everything in there. The L is logical. Did it answer everything from start to finish? If not, you have a problem. Okay. The next one is E, which stands for evidence. Are the facts accurate and grounded? You're going to ask this question. Are the names, date, numbers, and detailed correct? If the name and the number and the actual detailed, you know, that you got permission from is accurate. If not, you can go company A and, company B or team A or something like that. Okay. Does it need a source? Because you do want to check sources regarding evidence, and is the information recent or is it from 5 years ago? Okay. So something may have changed. Here's an example. If the answer include laws, company's rules, price, public facts, or recent updates, check a trusted source before relying on it, because it'll just make up things. Okay. You also want to search the web. You probably want to check with another LLM, just to make sure. Okay. Because remember, it can hallucinate. A in clear is for audience. So you're going to ask yourself, is the tone professional, polite, short? Is the language too hard or just too simple? Does it match the reader's needs? Here's an example. A message to a manager should be polite, direct, and focused. A lesson for a children should be simple, friendly, and easy to follow. Know your audience and definitely know your tones. Okay? And the R in clear is for relevant. Does the answer stay focused on the task or just, go sideways? So you're going to ask, did CT go off topic, which is sideways? Did it add too much extra information? Or does the answer match the original goal? Okay, here's an example. If you ask for a simple checklist, but CT gives you a long essay, it's irrelevant. It's not, you got to go back to the task. Okay, so that's what clear means. So that's a new that's basically a new vocabulary. I must be really tired. Sorry about that. That's a new vocabulary that I'm going to teach you. Okay, or is going to teach you. But I think the next one I want to give a little bit clearer, more direct examples. Now, you have to have simple class activities. Okay, for example, if you're trying to create a lesson for children, remember, know your audience, which they're, what's their age group. Keep it simple and direct, okay? And you want to be very clear to CT that it needs to be an age range. If it's going to be little kids, is it going to be first grader, second grader? Which level is it? And which age group? You're going to have to tell CT that. And you need to make sure that it's very, easy to follow. And did it complete its task? Is it in the right audience? And did it stay focused? Okay. So another few questions that you need to ask is, was it useful? Should you change anything? Should you check any other sources just to make sure that CT did not hallucinate, and then definitely review. Okay, it's very important to review all this because you are going to share a lot of information and people are just going to call you out on it. Just FYI. Now, simple workplace examples for task. Okay. CT is great for drafting, or a lot of AI is great for drafting. I always do a first draft, then I stick it in, either CT or, any other AI. And I always say, polish this for me. It's going to so and so and so. Okay. So it definitely knows what to do and who the audience is. But here's a good prompt that you may use. This is a good example. Help me draft a short and a polite email to my manager about an upcoming project. I need to ask what tasks are most important, what is the daily schedule that I should be on, and what is the deadline. Keep it simple, professional. Before finalizing it, ask me what is the project name, you can make it up, the deadline, and manager's detailed or anything that I have missed. So that's a simple and better, prompt that you can stick in CT, and it would, give you like a few, I think 2 or 3 outputs. So on here, the prompt is very clear. Okay, it has the task, it has the goal, it definitely have the audience. Remember the tone. Is there any missing details and your expected outcome? So all this should help you to, create better prompting. So being CT or any AI will give you a better outcome. Okay. Another thing that you want to do is you want to have a quick review before using, CT, for work or any lesson. You know, did it answer your full requests? Is the information in the right order? Or once again, is everything correct? Did I put the tone in there for the reader? Did it stay focused? Did I remove any private or confidential details? These are things that you want to do before putting the information in CT. So, what is the takeaway? Okay, the takeaway is CT is best used as a thought partner. Okay, it's a tool. You still have to use your brain. Okay, it can help you start faster projects, organize your ideas, and it can communicate very clear. Okay, and once again, before you answer anything, you review the word clear. Complete, logical, evidence, who your audience is, and then relevant. That is the best way that I can tell you how to use CT or any AI, because it is very smart. You want to be very safe. And once again, it's going to be a helpful assistant in anything that you do, everyday tasks, creating lessons, finding out sources. You definitely, want to review all your sources. I'm going to say that again. You definitely want to review all your sources. Okay. So this is something that everybody should use. I use the clear always, even in work, and also when I use any AI. So I hope this is very helpful. Okay. So you can understand why it's very important to use the AI correctly. Once again, it's a tool and it will help you because it can actually be a great thing that's in your life. Remember, stay kind and hydrate, and I will talk to you later. Ja, matinee.